We're back, and it is live on a Sunday. And I am Rich Lieberman. This is the Bay Area Rich Lieberman Media Pulse. And good to be back. We, of course, took off to observe the holiest day of the Jewish New Year. It's Yom Kippur, and we are back here on a Sunday. If you're watching live, welcome aboard. If you're watching at another time, thanks for tuning in. Do tell your friends and about me and about this channel, and do please subscribe to my channel. I keep you up to date on various Bay Area media, and I also give you my opinion in other aspects of the TV, radio, internet business. Let's talk about, and look, folks, everybody deals with stress, everybody deals with anxiety and sometimes unpleasantries at their workplace. It's a fact of life, right? That's why they call it work. It's especially evident now, I'm told, in the Bay Area news workforce at KTVU and at significantly both KTVU and Channel 7, also known as ABC7, that, of course, part of the Disney, which owns ABC stations, and, of course, Fox, which owns, as part of its stations, KTVU. Now, I mentioned stress level. It's always pronounced in all aspects of life, professional life, etc. But I am told that the situation at KTVU is slowly, and sometimes the opposite. It's getting out of control. And there is a great degree of unease, anxiety, of a feeling of we don't know who the hell's running this place. You could say the same thing, I'm told, about what is happening at 900 Front on the Embarcadero, where Channel 7 KGO TV ABC7 is running its operation. Barely. And, you have to wonder. And I'm told, again, these are people that have no axe to grind, but very capable people, very good people, people that have been working at both outlets for many, many years, in some cases, multi-decades. At the situation taking place at Channel 7, they have some really, really solid people that in literally make the operation go, like you put gas in the car. And when you can't put out a product, when you can't put out a news product, what is there to do? You would think that Disney, you would think the people that run the operations, the owned and operated stations, especially in the big markets, would take care of it, would make sure that its operations are at least okay enough to where you could put on a newscast. I am told it is so difficult now. Senior people have told people who have told me it's really difficult to come to work. Folks, you want to, and this is evident at both facilities. Let's talk about Channel 7 for a second. There are people there that I know of who have been there multi-decades, who are basically the oil that revs up the engine, and they have them on non-salaried positions. And some of them have to have other jobs to maintain their fiscal radar. They don't even pay them enough to where these people, and these are really, really multi-decade people. These are people who work behind the scenes, producers, editors, assignment editors. There is a great degree of toxicity at Channel 7. I'll get to Channel 2 in a second. Now, you would think a company as public as Disney would at least have the mental wherewithal to fund their stations, particularly, as I keep saying, their big stations in the big markets like San Francisco, like in LA, like in Chicago. And that's simply not the case. People find it difficult at Channel 7 to show up and go to work. Oh, they do because they're professional. And when you have somebody that supposedly is in charge of the news operation, the news director, who is AWOL, literally and figuratively speaking, Tracy Watkowski, you're supposed to lead. You're supposed to be captain of the team. And she isn't. She is not. She is part of an overall problem at Channel 7 that I am told is very, very, very difficult to work within. You can imagine what it's like, as I'm told, on the weekend when they have barely enough personnel to put together their various shows. I maybe I'm naive, but when you have this toxicity at the workplace, when you have this uncertainty, when you have this overall very, very difficult a malaise, how the hell do you put on a newscast? How do you rally troops? What is it like? These people deserve marginal pay. It's a difficult job under good circumstances, normal circumstances. And when you put forth such a lousy place to work, uncertainty, who's running the ship, who's watching the show? It is amazing to me, call me naive, that this is allowed to happen. And you all should know about this. At KTVU, owned by Fox, they've been having morale issues for years now. It is so bad there. I've reported this in the past when I was writing, folks. They literally meet some of the, rank and file across the street from KTVU. There's a condo and they talk, they BS when they take breaks. They go to this condo and they smoke their cigarettes and they talk about how lousy it is at Channel 2, KTVU, which used to be one of the most heralded stations, not only in the Bay Area, but beyond. How wonderful it was, how much of a legacy station with the 10 o'clock news, their bread and butter, a signature newscast, all the people, and sometimes people not just behind the scenes, but in front of the camera. I am told it is so, so rotten at Channel 2 these days. Look at their product. Is it any shock that they barely put on a sports staff to do post-game shows after the 49ers game? This is their profit center. Football, the 49ers. There are people, there are markets that would die to have an NFL affiliation. But it's not just that, it's the overall news product. And yes, times have changed. It's a different oasis. We're in a different world, but you can't put on a decent newscast. You can't take care of the people that they themselves hums the engines and put out a news truck, a news product. I marvel at all this in a negative way, and I understand what is happening. And there's a reason why they refer to Fox, ladies and gentlemen. It's an industry term. There was a book about this. The Firm. Remember that movie? Remember the movie with Tom Cruise based on the book about the corrupt law firm and all that? Well, they refer to Fox in television circles as the Firm. It is unnerving, and it is especially pronounced when it is happening in the number 5, number 6 market, which the Bay Area used to be number 4. So when I'm getting repeated communications from direct people who work there, from sources who have it from the horse's mouth about how toxic, how difficult it is to put out a product, not only at Channel 7, but at KTVU. And I'm sure it's taking place, but not to the degree that I'm being told at these two, which used to be, again, Channel 7, KGO, Circle 7, the birthplace of some of the legacy anchors, like a Van Amberg, like a Pete Wilson, Marsha Brandwin. It goes on and on and on. Somebody at Channel 2 told me it's really hard to go to work. It's the worst ever. And you think to yourself, this is a highly visible entity, is TV news. You would think that a station that had various people big enough to basically complain and to kvetch and to say, hey, this can't go on, yet it continues to go on. And I'm told again, it is the worst ever. The worst ever. I feel sorry for good people who have to work at Channel 2. The good people, few and far between, but still very good people at Channel 7 who go beyond all means to put out a product, to perform where all the obstacles exist under all the various circumstances. Look, I repeated myself, but it bears repeating. We all have stress levels that are way, way up, no matter what job capacity or no matter what job environment or what industry. But talk about a visible entity like a television news operation. How do they do it? And I mentioned the woman at KGO TV, Tracy Watkowski, aka Trixie. You know, you would think, and she knows what's going on. Hey, look, sometimes it's unworkable, sometimes it's beyond the capacity of a news director, but not in this case. She knows people in ABC, high and above, chief executives, which enables her to get away with all the crap that she gets away with, apparently. But this is really, really bad. And Channel 2, you have a woman news director. I only bring it up because it's factual. Uh, Aponte, I guess is her name. And Hartnow, the GM, who is notoriously absent from the scene of the crime at Channel 2. How do you fix a problem? How do you tell and rally the troops, which is your job, under normal circumstances when you're very, very absent from the scene? What kind of ruling is that? What kind of confidence level does that evoke amongst the working people? It is ridiculous. It is beyond repulsive. I don't know where this leads to, but something's got to give because from what I'm hearing, it can't get any worse. And I'm sure it exists, not to this degree, at other television news outlets here in the Bay Area, but at KTVU and at KGO ABC7, I am told it is bad. Hey, folks, please subscribe to my channel. If you can, contribute to my cause with a donation, because I then am able to give you a 24/7, for the most part, 7-day a week commentary, opinion, and breaking news that you will not get anywhere else. So please make a contribution. I will personally call you and thank you, or even email you, or both. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.